Hello, Janet Prey here for Islander Sewing Systems. Today's video tips are about pressing with wooden pressing tools. I want to show you first how well it works on a collar. This is called a point presser. And we want to press open the seams of the collar before we turn it. So we're going to lay that right on the point presser with the seam up here, right up to the point. And then we can just easily press open the seam. And what's really great is this hard wood that the pressing tools are made out of will give you the nicest, flattest seam possible. Then you'll be able to turn it and do both ends, and you'll just slide those on there and do the same. Now once you've done that and trimmed your corners, you'll turn your collar with a point turner to get nice clean points. And here's one I've already done that with, and I've got nice clean points, but you can see it's kind of open and full. And what I want to do is use now not the point presser but the clapper. And what the clapper does is, after you've pressed the seam just as you would like it to be, put some steam on it. Now we're going to come right behind that and press down with this wooden clapper. Press the seam down. Now see how flat that is? You get a nice flat seam. Why do you want a flat seam? Because now when you top stitch it, it's going to be a breeze and you're not going to have the difficulties or the little bumps or mishaps with your top stitching because you've gotten that so flat. So you just go along, give it some good steam, make sure it's turned exactly where you want it, and then hold this down. And when you hold this down again, it absorbs the moisture, which cools the product down and then leaves it in that condition, that nice flat condition. Now the other day I was making a little dress for my granddaughter, and I was using a polyester crepe. And I could not tame those seams. I'd come in and I'd press the seams open and they'd pop right back. Just like that. And I would push hard and I'd give it a lot of steam and I still couldn't get it to stay in place. So I thought, what the heck? Usually I use the clapper for natural fibers, but I'll try it on the polyester. So I came in and voila, not such a neat press, but you can see it tamed it right away. So you can even use it on polyester and non-natural fibers. Now I've got one more pressing tool I'm going to show you today, and that is sometimes called a seam stick, but the seam stick is usually 12 to 18 inches long. We carry a seam solution, which is 24 inches long. And where this comes in very handy is anytime you sew something in the round, like a sleeve or a pant leg. So I've just mocked up what might be a sleeve or a pant leg here to show you that now when I want to press that seam open, oftentimes, particularly on a sleeve, it gets really narrow. And if you wanted to press the seam open, you would very likely be pressing wrinkles or extra creases into that part of the garment that you don't want. So by taking the seam solution right down, slide it right in there, lay it flat on your ironing board, and now you can press that seam open, and the only thing that your iron is touching is that seam at the top of that half round wooden seam solution. And again, some pressing, some steam, give it a good press, and what it'll do is that wood will work for you and keep that seam nice and flat, and I haven't disturbed any other part of the garment. So that's wooden pressing tools. I would never be without them. Again, it's the point presser, and this one happens to be point presser clapper combination. If you're purchasing one somewhere else, we do carry them at Islander, but if you're purchasing them somewhere else, make sure there's no screw holes in the bottom. This needs to be perfectly flat, and it needs to be made out of hard wood. And then the clapper and the seam solution.